Hi, welcome to this new unboxing and quick analysis. Today will be a new 300mm brushed quadcopter, so a kind of Sigma X8C competitors recently reviewed a lot of. For example, the Cherson 635, the JC H899, the last double toys Q303, the HuanQI H899. Okay, so it's a direct clone of the Sigma, okay, to say it directly. So it comes with a camera mount and a 720p camera broadcasting the signal, the real live signal, thanks to Wi-Fi technology. So it comes in a black or a white edition. Another interesting feature associated with, you can, if you want, install on the camera mount. It's compatible with a GoPro or any action cam compatible inside. So let's discover the contents. I already opened everything and install the difference. So out of the box, you will need to install the landing gears, okay, and the camera mount. So here is a quadcopter. As you can see out of the box, very similar of a Sigma X8. The plastic is very good in my point of view, not so hard and not so weak, also flexible enough to, in my point of view, to absorb some crash. Maybe the landing gears can be present and the extremity are maybe too flexible and probably will break after a hard crash. So it comes in white edition, and for example, the battery bay is very similar to the Sigma, and you will find inside the batteries very similar to the Sigma model. So this is a 2000, if I manage to exit it. The balancer plug is a little bit partially blocked. Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry. So you will find a 2000 2S LiPo battery ending with this HXT 3.5mm, also called banana plug, but it's not real banana plug. Banana plug is more 4mm. Here it's 3.5mm. So be aware, and you have these two male connector inside, so they are different than the banana. So it's the same, for example, that the Sigma or different model now introduced. It seems to be a new standard for high capacity 2S LiPo. So you have a lot of room to install these batteries, but not so much to install a wider model. Everything scale 600 grams when everything is low, and with the 720p camera. So this is a basic camera. As you can see, you have a pinhole lens, so don't expect a wide field of view width. You have something like 60-70 degrees, not so much more. You have this small 2.4 GHz antenna. Okay, and one of the originality is a camera mount. Let's show you. Okay, if you want to remove it, just press on this button and release it, and clips like this to reinstall. It's pretty good. You have you can set the orientation, so if you are more an aggressive flyer, you can keep the horizontal line, or if you prefer to target the ground, it's possible. It's not controllable, but I think it's a good idea. Another good news for this model, this is the you have two types of camera mount. One is, this is the most advanced, I mean the camera is most installed on front, but if you prefer, you can install this system, which is instead of this one, okay, and the camera will be just installed below your quadcopter. With this system, of course, you don't see any more of the props in your videos, but maybe offering a little bit more jello compared to this system, so it's up to you. The props are strictly identical to the Sigma, okay, and you will need to remove the top prop cap to access, and you have this same kind of system that the Sigma. You have to push this metallic bar, okay, in order to remove this plastic, and you will be able to remove the props. Motors are strictly identical at the timer, and I found that it's pretty easy to open the quadcopter itself. To do the maintenance of any motors, you will have to remove 1, 2, 3 screws, and also this 2-1, okay? Just remove the screw of this 2-1 and you will be able to extract and access to the internal part of your motors. You have some GST connector for each motor, so it's pretty easy to do the motor maintenance. Concerning the radio protocol, it's a new one. Unfortunately, the RF chip is in HuanQI H899, so I'm not a big fan of this one, but the electronics and the antenna are pretty clean. You have antennas are foil, okay, and I managed to test it with 120 meters of control range without any problem. Be aware, I managed to reach such distance when the camera was removed, because with this one, especially when the Wi-Fi is running, it will create a lot of interferences with the 2.4 GHz radio part to control the quadcopter. When both are working together, the control range decreases to 30-40 meters, and you will see that some dropout will appear, and it could be dangerous for your quadcopter. You can fall from the sky, so it could be problematic. So unfortunately, they are sharing the same 2.4 GHz band, and is not very efficient in terms of communications. One word about the camera. The resolution is okay, image quite precise, but the color is not fantastic. It's obvious with such a small lens size. Another word about also the Wi-Fi applications. So, as I said, here is a radio. It's not bad a transmitter. The sticks are precise. You have 2-speed mode only available on the top left shoulder button. Is assumed to be the flips button. I was not able to perform some. And here you have some button. Assume this one to be the headless, and if you long press on it to be the return to home. And here this one is the camera and to take a photo. Unfortunately, with this camera, it's not possible to start a video recording with this button or to take a photo with one. You need absolutely to pass through the Wi-Fi interface. And as I said previously, since the range is limited, I think it's a bad idea to be obliged to go through the interface to start a video recording, in my point of view. So I think for me it's a drawback. I will show you, because you cannot really enjoy a full range and be able to make some video recording because of the limitation of the cohabitation between the Wi-Fi and the 2.4 GHz frequency. So let's show you how it's working. I will turn on put on the batteries. You have a power switch. It's always a good idea. So I will connect everything. Okay. Turn on the quadcopter. The LEDs are very visible, and you have a white on front to indicate your made it and direction. It's a very good feature. Really, I like it. The LEDs are very visible even in the daylight. So you have to open your favorite Android or iPhone. Okay, turn on the Wi-Fi and go to the Wi-Fi device list, and it should appear after a couple of seconds the HuanQI H899 and you have to connect on it. Okay. And when it's done, you will be able to run the software. Okay, so it's done. You can go and run the application. You have to download, and you will see that you have to press anywhere to start the connection, and it's working. So without any the radio not turned on, the fluidity of the image is not fantastic. Even in close distance, you have something like 15 frames per second, but the image is still creeps. Everything will be catastrophic when I will turn on the radio to bind the quadcopter. Okay, push up and down. Now it's bound, and you will see that well, very soon, as soon as you will fly from 1 or 2 meters, the frame rate will drop considerably, and you will have probably one image every 2-3 seconds after below 10 meters of distance. That's a pretty bad news. To turn the camera recording, you have to press this button. Okay, you have a yellow logo appearing, and when you press again, you will release. Sometimes you have an error message, but don't worry, the file is saved on the microSD card. One where no microSD card are provided, you have to give yours. Okay, this button is to take photos. Okay, and you can reverse the screen if you want to install. So the camera is pretty cool, pretty easy to install, thanks to this phone holder. That's a good news at least. Okay, so it's pretty easy to fly. Okay, and as I said, look that. As soon as the telephone is installed close to the radio, the frame rate decreases considerably. Look that. I've got a lot of frame rate drop, especially depend on the angle of your phone. If I install more vertically, the result will be even worse. So I'm not impressed by this Wi-Fi FPV feedback. It's not very acceptable in my point of view, and first of all, it's limiting considerably the control range of your quadcopter. To harm the quadcopter, be aware, I won't fly here, but just to harm the quadcopter, you have to push the bow stick in lower right like this. Okay, you will be able to harm and to disarm the same. Okay, so it's like a real quadcopter. One word about these flying characteristics. This machine is pretty good flyers. Only 2-speed mode, but they are very well tuned. It's fighting the wind pretty well. It's more sporty than the Cyma, so really I like it, and it's flying great. That's probably one of the most positive points. There is another great one, is about a kind of telemetry information sent by the quadcopter. So as soon as your quadcopter is reaching a low voltage, the quadcopter is sending a signal to your transmitter, and this one starts to emit a beep, indicating that you have to land. That's a pretty good features. Really, I like it. So really, I'm impressed by this kind of telemetry information. So to resume, very good Cyma clone, but the weakest point is probably the camera. Okay, so in fact, the camera is just here to give you a basic video recording, but the main originality, and I would say the main usage of this model is to remove this 720p camera, okay, and to install more a GoPro, okay, let's say this model, okay, and here you will be able to take a good footage. You can carry this camera without any problem. You have approximately 9-10 minutes of flying duration. That's pretty good, okay, no problem to carry such model. With this front camera mount installation, you have some jellos in my point of view. They probably be reduced by balancing the props, and probably also to install more this camera mount more beneath the quadcopter. You will reduce the jello, but actually I found there are some jellos, so it's a weak point. Okay, so I will hand this unboxing and quick analysis of the HuanQI H899, a pretty decent and pretty cheap. I think it's around $80 if I'm not wrong. Pretty cheap Cyma clone, is powerful. 10 minutes of flying duration, can carry a GoPro without any problem. You have this camera mount out of the box. That's pretty good. You have a telemetry indicating the LVC alarm on your radio. That's cool features. Probably the weakest point is this not very interesting 720p camera. You will throw it immediately after some small flight test, I'm sure of it. Okay, I hope you like this video. If you like it, please submit. If you have any question, please type below. And if you like my channel in general, please subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.